Are you even doing anything, or are you just... Could you... Come on, I just wanna... I'm talking about Zelda games. Zelda games. Are you done? Now, Linky, we talked about this. While you're off collecting green batteries and torturing Koroks, you're supposed to be saving Hyrule. I think we should talk about the great links of the past to get you motivated. I'll be rating them as I go. Now, I'm only going to be talking about mainline Zelda adventures. None of the spin-offs, region-locked adventures, non-canon, or the cursed CDI entries.
You've killed me!
Good. And if I missed your favorite Zelda adventure, get on your slate or pad and tell me so in the comments below. Check it. Let's start at the beginning. You have to give the first few games credit for breaking ground. The Legend of Zelda was the game that started it all. In true early RPG fashion, it plops you down in the middle of nowhere with no explanation, gives you a sword, and that's it. If you read the manual, you get the background, which is the typical Zelda formula, or I should say, the formula that the others used as a starting point. All in all, it's a challenging top-down adventure and was the first console game to have a save game feature. You collect the Triforce pieces, slay Ganon, full-on pig form, which gets backpedaled and explained further in later entries. B for ingenuity. Zelda 2 is a side-scrolling, brutal, unforgiving death trap with far different mechanics, like leveling up, a magic system, and people you could talk to. While it is one of the most maligned Zelda titles, Nintendo tried something new, and I give them credit. It doesn't rate high, but just listen to this music. I've played through it, but never again. The first entry on SNS took the formula from the first Zelda entry and greatly expanded on it, giving it a bit of a story and establishing a lot of the mainstays of the series even today. And Nintendo got so much right in this entry. Shout out to A Link Between Worlds here for repackaging ALTTP and adding even more. Not even a lot to say. Amazing job. It does have the first game of Wizard Tennis. Hey, it's a great game even today. Sidebar. I tend to like the late console entries a lot, because they tend to veer more off the beaten path than the establishing game on each console. Link's Awakening was a continuation of ALTTP Link's Adventure, where he gets stranded on a strange island and ends up having to wake up the windfish, and in the process, the island vanishes, and he learns it was all the dream of the fish. Link's Adventure has a lot of silliness, references to Mario, and the first time top-down Link can jump. The re-release of it on the Switch has Toy Link had equal levels of fun. I give you an A. And this, one of the first 3D RPGs ever made, that defined the genre just as ALTTP entirely changed the top-down RPG, Ocarina of Time set the standard in storytelling, game mechanics, progression, and just good old adventure. It uses time travel effectively, and also gave fanboys something to theorize about, creating alternate timelines. It knew how to pace dread, action, and how to foreshadow a villain. And this song. It definitely holds up to this day. You know, besides the water temple.
No. Wait. Wait.
S because you're special. Majora's Mask is another example of Nintendo using the assets for a second Zelda game. And again, they veer wildly off the beaten path. Young Link from the previous entry travels to the alternate realm of Termina, that's destined to have a moon crash into it in 3 days. Majora's Mask is a dark, twisted entry that knew it didn't need to pull punches. They used the masks from the previous game to give you ability to transform into other things. It was experimental and creepy enough to inspire creepypastas and people to theorize Link was actually in purgatory the whole time. You still doing okay, Linky? It's okay. He can't scare you anymore. Sorry, gotta give this an S. The first entry on the GameCube, Wind Waker, was a 180-degree turn from Majora's Mask. You're told the world's been flooded, and you're just the young hero to venture the world on your small boat. It had great exploration, and just did a lot of things well. A lot of the game was cartoony, but that's on purpose. The action had impact and actually managed to feel visceral. And there's a lot that survived to this day, like Koroks, bird people, gliding using a Deku leaf. It's a great time. A, because I can feel the formula starting to get played out a bit. Twilight Princess, I think, is where they decided they'd gone too hard in the cartoonish direction and decided to dial it back to realistic, gritty, and dark. It's first on the GameCube, but it also becomes the first entry on the Wii, and it, overall, succeeds. It starts off with a lot of annoying mini-games, and it's kind of railroady, but the dungeons have really unique and fresh designs, from the spinner of Arbiter Grounds and double hook shots. Oh, and you're a wolf for half the game, but it has a lot of cool moments. Hey, but below Wind Waker, Skyward Sword is a Zelda game for the Wii. It's set in the ancient past, with everyone in the sky, and life is perfect until it isn't. You play the destined hero, who does a lot of Link-like things, including using a sword which becomes the Master Sword to beat the bad guy, who is basically Ganon, the Demon Lord Demise, and save Zelda. They love Destiny in this game. Overall, it is an alright game. The one thing everybody hates about this game the most is the motion controls. They're just bad. You either throw out a flurry of attacks and get parried, or you have to wait it out until the enemy has an opening. Fights become a long slog, but the dungeons are pretty good, and you have to do some of them twice, so not as good as earlier games. And so I give you a C. What can I say? Breath of the Wild was the first Zelda entry on the Switch. It plops you down with little explanation and just a stick and a raggedy pair of pants. You go through a starter area and end up getting most your useful powers in the first couple hours of the game. It completely rewrites the formula from the earlier games, and it's better off for it. It's more open, not railroady, and allows the player the ingenuity to solve things their own way and in any order. And the combat and the physics are very good. Or you could just immediately go and fight Ganon at the very beginning. Some say it lacks in story, but if you seek out Link's memories, it does a good job of making you care about Zelda and the four spirits. I'm giving you an S because it not only redefines Zelda games, but the modern open-world RPG. And lastly, present day. Tears of the Kingdom certainly has the bones of Breath of the Wild, but it builds on that scaffolding tremendously. I think Nintendo realized how much players liked figuring out things their own way so much they decided to give them even better tools to build and shape the things around them. So far, I like that Ganon has a face again, but I will confess I haven't finished yet. This game gets an S. Will it be higher or lower than Breath of the Wild? Too soon to say. So, time for adventure? Okay, no, it's fine. I'm going to do it myself. Here I come, Princess.